For a session presented by Amazon Ads, please welcome the Head of Travel Industry Advertising at Amazon Ads, Meg McGinnis, and Chief Marketing Officer at Carnival Cruise Line, Amy Martin-Ziegenfuss, in discussion with Skift Content Director, Allison McCarthy.
Hi, Meg and Amy. Thanks so much for being here today. So we know that it's becoming more and more challenging to stand out to travelers. We have shorter attention spans. There's so many digital platforms we need to keep up with. Customer segmentation is disappearing, and overall, there's just a really, really crowded landscape. But on the upside, we have new ad formats. We have bigger consumer moments and deeper data insights that are really allowing travel marketers to tell some really creative campaigns. So Meg, you are the head of travel industry ads at Amazon. And yeah, I want to start off just by getting your take on the current landscape of travel marketing and the challenges and opportunities that travel marketers are currently facing.
Sure, and thank you so much for having us here today, Alsa. I mean, it's been awesome. We cannot speak more highly about the venue. It's been really fun. So what I'll say is that it's an incredibly exciting time to be in travel industry marketing. I think, we've heard over the past few days, the industry has changed considerably these last few years, and honestly, the same goes for marketing. The way that we think about our customers, who they are, what they like, how we message them, all of that has really evolved in recent years as well. But the good news is we know that customers are traveling again, and they're traveling in high numbers. We actually just ran a survey on Amazon that found 100% of our customers plan to take a trip in the next 12 months, which is really encouraging.
I hope that's a cruise.
Yes, I hope so too. But what we're finding though is that their interests and behaviors as they're going to travel have definitely changed, right? A lot of the themes around yesterday and today are consistent with our customers. They prefer sustainable travel, they're prioritizing health and wellness. The ways that they're even considering travel has changed. I know in the tourism board section yesterday, we talked about being inspired by content that you're viewing. So we often see that with like Prime Video and Fire TV, customers streaming and wanting to go to those destinations. And then booking windows are condensing. So Amazon customers have expressed that they actually feel comfortable booking less than 30 days out, which was definitely not the case prior to COVID. And then lastly, I'll just say, in marketing, we talk about the full funnel a lot. But what we're finding, at least with Amazon, is that the funnel is really collapsing and it's becoming much more cyclical, much more like a flywheel. And so being able to create marketing experiences that will allow you to break through, but also deliver results is important now more than ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think those are all points that we're seeing on the Skift side as well. So Amy, I know that Carnival has built a really deep partnership with Amazon Ads over the past year or so. So give me an overview of the partnership. Why did Carnival decide to partner with Amazon Ads? And then what are some of the activations that have been created to reach Amazon's customers?
Yeah, and thanks again for having us. So I think like Meg said, things are more competitive than ever, so it's really important for brands like Carnival to partner with amazing partners like Amazon that have breadth and scale, help us to reach new customers as well as find overlap with current customers to stay top of mind. And we're obviously very lucky to be the largest cruise line in the world, if you look at kind of the number of ports of call that we sail from and also guest numbers. But that means that we still need to find ways to find the right partners that can help us with reach and also with more meaningful activations, like you said. So, although you can't buy a cruise in a box, an Amazon box today, not yet. We're really open to thinking with partners like Amazon that are trusted to find interesting ways to be unexpected, get in front of people in new ways. Things like Thursday night football, ways for us to really break through. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. And thinking about it holistically, really as an ecosystem. So what are the ways to really stand out, but what are the ways to make sure we're tapping into the insights that Amazon brings to the table to help with our retargeting and make sure that we are showing up in meaningful ways.
So hearing this, it sounds like there's a real intent to focus on out of the box or first to market moments on Amazon versus more traditional ad formats on standard media, which is really interesting. So tell us more about that. What's the thinking here?
Yeah, I think that, as we think about just how competitive everything is today. I mean, travel is no exception, but in terms of the sort of fight for attention, right? The people are being bombarded with messages all day long, millions and millions of them. So it's so important for brands to find the right ways to stand out and break through that clutter. And really, we have to do that in a way that's true to the DNA of your brand, right? So you can't do that in a way that feels inauthentic. It might be splashy, but if it doesn't make sense for the brand, people are going to be like, no thanks. So we really think about Carnival Cruise Line, in our DNA, it's all about choosing fun. So as we partnered with Amazon and your customer obsession, we thought about our highly engaged fan base and the ways we could find alignment and kind of synergies within that. So that really helped lead us to those moments of fun that we can create together. So that led us to things like thinking about a really cool on-box promotion that we did, where we actually had creative on the Amazon boxes, not something people would expect, because it's showing up that way, and a board game as well, super fun and exciting and disruptive in that it's really engaging in that way. And then we also were one of the first brands, I think the first travel brand for sure, to partner on the Alexa Skill partnership. We also were the first to sponsor a playlist on Amazon Music. So really thinking about how we can, in addition to Prime Day and kind of creating that, how we can really create these standout moments that make sense for us. Fun and music go hand in hand, right? Those kinds of things. But also, the tried and tested drumbeat tactics. So we kind of look at it as a whole ecosystem with moments that stand out.
Yeah. And then Meg, I also want to hear from you. Why do you think this partnership has been so successful? What makes it unique?
Yeah, I mean, Carnival has been such a fantastic and genuinely fun, like pun intended, partner to work with. I think the partnership's been successful for a number of reasons. First and foremost, you know your brand, you know your audiences. I think you've done a great job of leveraging audience insights to really inform your marketing strategy really creatively. You see it in the creative messaging, but then you also see it quite literally in the placements that you're running with Amazon. So, boxes or Thursday Night Football or branded experiences with Alexa, those are some of the most fun placements that we can offer marketers. And so I think our customers really appreciate that consistency. And then as Amy said, there's a lot of competition in the marketplace right now. eMarketer anticipates that ad budgets will increase 20% year over year this year for travel. So being able to find marketing and messaging that really breaks through is important. And I love that you touched on customer obsession. I think we often find that partners who are just as equally and ruthlessly obsessed with their customers as Amazon is tend to do really well. If you're an Amazon customer and you get your Amazon Music playlist sponsored by Carnival, or maybe you get your Prime Day box delivered with Carnival branding, that's unexpected, that's fun, that's differentiating. And so I think it's worked really well for our customers.
And Amy, you mentioned the Prime Day partnership, so I want to hear more about that and the big tentpole shopping moments that Carnival's partnered with Amazon with.
Yeah, so I think that the Prime Day was a great example of finding that way to bring fun to life. We're always looking at, we want to make people smile. That's part of our role as a brand in the world, and whether that's on our Lido deck on a cruise, having a fabulous time, maybe to Alaska, like you two were just talking about, or if that's in people's everyday lives. And I think to your point, Meg, when we did the Unbox campaign and the board game, that was really a way to bring that smile to life in an everyday moment where Carnival might not show up otherwise. So I think that was really important. I think football is another great example of that, right? For people who love football, there's nothing more fun than that, and our customer adores football, and so that was perfect. When Amazon acquired Thursday Night Football, it was a perfect way for us to get involved. So we became an early partner of that. We're an exclusive sponsor of the Pile On last year. Super exciting, and the right way for us to show up in a fun moment, again, in people's weekly routine, which we were really excited about. And this year we're back with the Black Friday game. We're really excited about that. And it's working. You mentioned outcomes. We're seeing higher consideration intent, higher session times, and higher than average engagement with our customers when we're showing up in these places, which is really exciting. With Thursday Night Football, for instance, the customers are 143% more likely to engage with Carnival content when they've seen us in a Thursday Night Football placement. So that's pretty impressive. And we like to see that because that shows us that we're showing up in the right places. And then the On-Box campaign that we mentioned about for Prime Day drove growth in ad awareness, message association, and ad recall, so they knew it was coming from Carnival, even though it was kind of mixed with the Amazon brand, and that's a beautiful partnership.
And then Meg, talk more about the opportunities that these big tentpole shopping moments offer travel brands, whether that's Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the big days.
Yeah, I mean, so Prime Day, and I feel like the evolution of tentpole events in general at Amazon has been a really interesting one. Our team, we think a lot about what we can offer marketers that they can't get anywhere else, right? Like what's uniquely Amazon. Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, those are moments that have really become synonymous with Amazon as a company, which is really encouraging. I mean, this past Prime Day was actually our single largest shopping day in the site's history. Third-party research tells us that Black Friday, Cyber Monday will likely surpass that. So if you're a travel marketer and you have a special offer or maybe a limited time discount or even like a loyalty program that you're trying to promote, being able to align with tentpole moments on Amazon is a great way to get your foot in the door. Amy and her team did a really great offer. It was 40% off select cruises that we promoted through advertising on Prime Day. But again, that's just one way that you can get started. We're not as a company in the business of trying to sell cruises, but we can reach just about anyone who would be interested in cruising. So again, if you're trying to reach a loyal, transactional, highly engaged audience, it's a great way to get started.
I think people are expecting to see brands there too, right? It's something that is, we're training them, you're training them, Amazon. And so it's really smart for a brand to try to show up there.
Yeah, definitely. So we are just about out of time, but very, very short and sweet. One piece of advice you'd give to travel marketers who are interested in exploring new formats?
Yeah, I think I would say be unafraid to take calculated risks, especially when you're working with a trusted partner like Amazon. Find those ways that it makes sense for your brand because that can help you really break through and stand out in unexpected ways.
I love that. I would say in addition to being unafraid, I feel like this was in the AWS session yesterday, but some of the best innovation, I think, comes out of disruption. And so I know we've had some of the most disruptive years of our lives these past few years. So as marketers, I would say embrace the disruption. At Amazon, we say it's always day one, which is basically to avoid a day two mentality when things are going uninspected or you accept the status quo, which operationally can be really easy to do. But I would say beware of day two. Like get comfortable with being uncomfortable, experiment with new formats, work with partners who can help you learn about your audience and complement your current efforts.
Amazing. Thank you both so much. If you want to learn more about today's emerging marketing opportunities, you can download Skift and Amazon Ads Trend Report through the QR code behind me. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.